Well, the roof is closed, but as you can probably tell, the mouths of these Cowboy fans could not be more wide open. It is a frenzied AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. To the air right away is Maye. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's second down and 2. He finds Douglas complete. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for the first with Stevenson. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Pulled in at the 24. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Milton. Open man downfield is Lamb. It's complete. Still on his feet. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, 68 yards. And the Cowboys will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
A gain of 3, second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bringing an extra defensive back. They'll throw with Maye. And this is going to be incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Here's Bryce Behringer now. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
To throw is Milton. Finding Tolbert here over the middle. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up second down.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
Milton. Right back to Tolbert. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Here's Milton. That's into the hands of Tolbert. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's second down now.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Here's Milton now to throw. Able to hit his target, Lamb. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. To throw, it's Milton. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Cowboys are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now's where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Williams again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. Calling a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Williams will take this into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Aubrey good with a PAT, and it's now 14-0. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. New England trying to get a place on offense. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Diggs in motion right. Now he's going to get it on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets them a 1st down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. And part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
But they run the option here on 1st and 10. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Straight ahead, it's Stevenson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 8. Looking to throw, Maye. Hunter Henry brings it in. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. Here's Maye. Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Tight defense there on 3rd down, but what a product of good coaching and even better execution, because he realized he's in field goal range, no sense forcing anything, and he made sure he didn't.
The Patriots will bring on the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 46. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
The kicking unit out for the Patriots as they send this one away. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Now Milton. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
And they pick up a 1st down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Ferguson. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Milton fires a slant, complete to Tolbert. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The rookie from Tennessee orchestrating things well. It's a 1st down here.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Off the play fake. Milton. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Jalen Tolbert, 23 yards for the touchdown, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. New England's offense set to go. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Shedding the tackle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Stevenson gets it again on second down. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And he will go down, a Cowboys sack. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and they will take over 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw. Milton. Under pressure, and down he goes. Credit the sack there to Harold Landry. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This one swung out to Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Off play action. Milton. Well, this is caught by Williams. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 33. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
But whenever you call and run the hitch route, a lot of times that ball's got to be in the air before the receiver even turns around. That's the result of throwing it so many times in practice is really a timing route. Make sure that ball's out of your hands, and oftentimes the receiver turns around, and there's the ball. Nice completion there.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
He's put up numbers in this one by pushing the envelope a bit whenever he could with deeper throws. But let's play a little philosophy here. Some plays it works. Sometimes they're ready for you, and that time they were on guard. Incomplete.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
The offense on third down tonight, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. In motion, that's Tolbert. They'll look to throw again. Screen play set up for Williams. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And his pass incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Now a 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Milton rolling to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
From the gun on third down, Milton. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Christian Barmore getting in there to drop him. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's 24-3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. New England trying to get to place on offense. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. To throw, it's Maye. And his throw here's incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
2nd and 10. Up the middle, here's Stevenson. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
There's a nice move, and he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson. He'll take this to the 46.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 46-yard line, a second down and 6. Diggs going in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
To the air, Maye. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Dante Fowler drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
It's caught. Tolbert. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. 23 yards, the final tally.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Milton, a short one there, taken in by Ferguson. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Milton. Left side to Lamb. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Milton. Open man, the tight end, Luke Schoonmaker. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 2. To throw is Milton. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
They'll try to run for it. Here's Williams. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he's going to take this down close to the 1st as he's brought down at the Patriots' 43-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 48 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Spillane. And the Patriots are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. They'll run with Stevenson to begin the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And 24 yards to gain there. Another first down as well.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Gibson here running out of the gun. Shifts by him, and he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On second down, here's Gibson again. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football, not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
That was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing here is Maye. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
And his kick here is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The kicking unit out for the Patriots as they send this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it. No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
Milton. Got his man. It's Jonathan Mingo. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Here's Milton. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Here's Milton now to throw. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
Now they'll toss it out right to Williams. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now an option play, and he'll keep it. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. He's able to call his own number for 8 that time, but it leaves him with a 3rd down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
So on 4th down, out is Brandon Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal. This is a 26-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. Only 3 points there, but I got to think at this point in the 3rd quarter, that's all you're really looking for.
And right now the lead is 3 touchdowns and 3 two-point conversions. So you and I both know a huge order for the best of teams. And from what we've seen so far, hard to believe that that's a likely scenario. 3 two-point conversions? That's difficult.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And now out come the Patriots. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
They go play action now. Maye. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Dante Fowler able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Going deep for Diggs. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
What we've seen so far in this game, they are not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
The Patriots send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. To throw, it's Milton. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game, and that continued with that 1st down run.
They'll throw with Maye. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Douglas. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. This 2nd and 4. Looking to throw, Maye. He'll get this into the hands of Antonio Gibson. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the 1st.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Here's Maye. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Micah Parsons, his 2nd sack of the night. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. He finds Douglas complete. That'll give him 8 that time. And 3rd and 8 now.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
On third down, he'll drop to throw.
Over the middle, he gets it to Gibson.
And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
They'll run for it. It's Stevenson.
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots.
Ramondre Stevenson.
36 yards.
And the Patriots are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Well, that is a situation, Charles, where it's too long for the field goal. Why not take a chance on 4th down? And, boy, does it pay off handsomely.
And living with a lot of second-guessing goes with the job description when you're the head coach. And most guys now.
And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football. You're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
60 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
2nd down and 6 now. They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now Milton.
The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
Anthony Jennings
in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Patriots gearing up to go now.
Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Gets this complete to Butte.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
This duo locked in, 14 yards there. And a first down.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Completes it to Douglas. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press.
And it's caught on the deflection. And this is going to be a touchdown.
Well, 4th quarter touchdown there. Back to a 2-score game, but time is not their ally.
No, it's not, partner. They still have a pulse, but it's probably a little weak right now. A lot of things have to go right in these final 2 minutes plus for them. I think they have to be thinking onside kick here, and we know how difficult those are to recover.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the 4th quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
They give it to Williams running right. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Another run on second down, trying to cover up.
And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Back to throw. Milton, and that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
So on fourth down, out is Brandon Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal.
It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away.
A lane opens here. He's past the 30. So the Patriots now down by 2 touchdowns. 1:45 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. They'll come out throwing here on first down.
He gets this complete to Diggs.
Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
Second down, 8 yards to go.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Well, this crowd making it hard to hear. This is 3rd and 8 from the shotgun. Maye with it. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Here we go. This is 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Maye.
Complete. Hunter Henry with the grab. But he will be stopped behind the line as he will not come close to the marker. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
The Patriots will take their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So it's a win here for the Cowboys, and it was their quarterback who led the way, Charles. Pretty impressive play for a rookie.
Yeah, I thought this defense just didn't have an answer for him all game long. They tried to change things up, but he was always one step ahead. And he finished with over 300 yards passing and 2 touchdown passes as well.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.